The Asian Individual Chess Championships 2025 Open Round 5 witnesses a strategic French defense McCutcheon variation Lasker variation, as Xu faces Liyanage. On e4. On e6. On d4. On d5. Knight c3. Knight f6. Liyanage might go for knight takes e4. Knight takes e4. On takes e4 and seize the initiative. Bishop g5. Bishop b4. On e5. Threatening pawn takes f6. On h6 played by Liyanage. Liyanage wants to play. On takes g5. On takes f6. Queen takes f6 and increase their advantage significantly. Bishop d2 played by Xu transposed into French defense McCutcheon variation Lasker variation. Threatening pawn takes f6. Bishop takes c3 played by Liyanage. On takes c3. Knight e4. Queen g4. Threatening queen takes g7. On g6 played by Liyanage. Bishop d3. Xu is preparing to play. Bishop takes e4. On takes e4. Knight e2. Queen d5. Knight g3 and establish a winning position. Knight takes d2 played by Liyanage. King takes d2. On c5. Knight f3. Threatening pawn takes c5. On c4 played by Liyanage. Threatening pawn takes d3. Bishop e2 played by Xu. Bishop d7. On h4. Knight c6. Knight h2. Queen a5 it is novelty move. Queen f4. King castled queenside. Knight g4. On g5. Threatening pawn takes f4. Queen e3 played by Xu. Knight e7. On f4. On h5. Liyanage is preparing to play. On takes f4. Queen takes f4. On takes g4 and secure a stronghold in the game. Knight f6 played by Xu. Threatening pawn takes g5. On g4 played by Liyanage. On a3. Knight f5. Threatening knight takes e3. Queen f2 played by Xu. Rook h6. On g3. Rook takes f6. On takes f6. Knight d6. Queen e3. Knight e4 check. King e1. Bishop a4. Liyanage is planning to play. Queen b6. King f1. Queen b2. Rook e1. Queen takes a3 and secure a stronghold in the game. Rook c1 played by Xu. Queen b5. King f1. Queen b2. Threatening knight takes g3 check. King g2 played by Xu. Bishop takes c2. Rook he1. Bishop d3. Liyanage is aiming to play. Rook d6. King g1. Rook b6. Bishop takes d3. Pawn takes d3 and gain a significant edge. King g1 played by Xu. Bishop takes e2. Rook takes e2. Queen takes a3. Rook ec2. Rook d6. On f5. On takes f5. Queen h6. Rook takes f6. Queen takes h5. Queen d6. Liyanage intends to play. Queen takes g3 check. King h1. Queen f3 check. King h2. On g3 check. King g1. Queen takes h5. Rook a1. King c7. Rook g2 and seize the initiative. Rook g2 played by Xu. King c7. Threatening knight takes g3. Queen h8 played by Xu. On f4. Liyanage is aiming to play. On f3. Queen g8. On takes g2 and establish a winning position. Queen a8 played by Xu. On f3. Threatening pawn takes g2. Rook b1 played by Xu. On f2 check, stop here and find the strongest move for Xu. King h2 is the right idea because Queen c6. Rook f1. On a6. Queen f8. Queen e6. Queen b4. Still Xu is losing. Let's explore the main game. On f2 check. Rook takes f2 is a blunder. Played by Xu. Queen takes g3 check. Rook g2. Queen e3 check. King h1. Knight f2 check. King g1. Knight d1 check. King h2. Queen f4 check. King g1. Queen f1 check. King h2. On g3 check. Xu had no choice but to throw in the towel.